Peasant Productions presents the mathematics of ESP, why it works even if you don't believe in it. Okay, we're discussing the idea of symbology here and how things work. One of the things I want to put forward here is I talked about the idea of somewhere back, your soul is energy. And it never dies. It continues on. You've probably lived trillions of lives, and you're definitely gonna live many trillions of lives yet. There's no way to stop it. Like I said, if you got a closed up room and you're inside the room, you have no right to say what is outside that room. Okay. It might be sunny, it might be cloudy, it might be night, it might be day, but if you're in a closed room and you can't look outside, you don't know. So your existence is this planet right now. Most of you don't go anywhere beyond just the physicals of it, but there is something that exists beyond, and when you get to the edge of the universe, as the scientists say, there's something outside the universe. Okay, and no matter what any scientist wants to do and argue about how well there's nothing measurable there, it's much more logical to understand that no scientist, you don't have anything to measure what's out there. That does not make nothing happen out there. That does not say that nothing exists out there. So you have energy itself, and stop and consider that music is a wave, a form of energy. You have light, which is also that, and you have just basic vibrational type of a thing of healing. Okay, for instance, I do healing hands. When I put my hand over somebody, I'm passing energy to that. That's a vibration, and I am conveying a certain level or type of energy to do a certain level or type of thing for them. Okay. Light therapy has been around for a long time. Anybody who works night shift, anybody that works graveyard, anybody who, like me, grew up working in dark rooms and literally spending dozens of hours with just a little red light over your head and nothing else, that you have to get outside and just sit in the sunshine because it restores you and makes you feel better. Anybody that's lived in the northern latitudes, southern latitudes, really far, towards the Antarctic or Arctic areas, knows this also, because they too go through the variations of what happens when they get dark all the time and the sun's at the other end of the globe. So we know this stuff is real, and we know it happens, and it's vibrational, and it is probably the only thing that you could ever say is the ultimate language. Energy. It cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Okay? So no scientist is going to come up and do a Donald Trump and just erase a whole pile of energy real quick, because he can't do it. The energy has to be translated into something else. It doesn't matter. Okay? In the case of your souls, your beings, or whatever, okay, my soul is not strictly 100% inside of this body. What it can access is limited somewhat by the fact that I am operating in a body, okay? That's why I don't consider myself a god or greater than gods, but at the same time, because I walk with gods and I deal with gods, I do not have a problem with, understanding that there's something bigger than me, they're better than me, and at the same point there's something more to me than just this physical body. So you start realizing that afterlives are available, you've got all of the various things going on, and if you tune into the right vibrations, i.e., if you're Buddhism or one of the Hindu or yogic areas, you understand about Om, and anybody that sits down and for 5 or 10 minutes once a day for 30 days I guarantee you will. If you sit down and you just concentrate on making the word Om in your mind and in your body happen, you will feel a change. It's not the same thing as walking into one of those churches over there and saying, "Oh, Mommy Mary, please pray for me, do something for me." No, it is something different. You are actively changing yourself, okay? So, you know, there's a very definite symbology of vibration. There's a very definite flow of vibration, and there's a very definite energy that contains all of that vibrational information and goes with you as you go through. So yes, you do have your past lives and stuff. And two things I got to put forward here. First of all, I did tarot card reading for a lot of years. And while I originally did it for myself, I had such a successful, I guess would be successful reading history. So many people I did readings for, and they came back and they were just like totally blown away about what I could see and what I was telling them. That, you know, I started actively doing it. I almost never took money. I did allow people to buy me drinks, and then again once or twice I had somebody actually put some cash in my hands. But the basis of it was I was trying to help people. Now, one of the things that I always put forward, which most people who do fortune telling do not warn you about, is that once you know something, you have the ability to change it. If you know that your girlfriend's coming home at 2 o'clock and you want something to happen before she gets there, then you know to have things done and finished by 1 o'clock, right? Whether it's a birthday party or you're moving out, you know, or you're putting in a new entertainment center, whatever you're trying to do, you know something is coming forward at certain times, and you make other arrangements. If a fortune teller tells you that, hey, you're going to cross the street over here and you're going to get hit by a bus, fine. You walk 10 feet further down and you see the bus and you cross behind the bus and you don't get hit, and you've changed something. This is very normal and standard of why people are very wrong about thinking prophecies are absolutes. They have to. Now, on the flip side, like I said, this is because I married a woman who, when my gut feeling told me to get the heck out of the situation and not even let the wedding happen, and then a couple of days later it was like, hey, we got married, the woman's like, whoa, who knows what the heck she is now, because she did a huge 180 on me. Yeah, I was going to go and annul it, and then I thought, no, you're trying to fit into society. Just, you know, you've helped people before, just try and help the woman. It didn't work out. I went through a lot of years in court. I got my arm busted up, and all of this stuff leads up to where I am today, where I am basically fulfilling prophecies given to me in 1960. I wasn't seeking to make them happen. In some cases, like with marrying this woman, because she was a Christian Catholic, and I had just gotten Revelation 2:17, it was kind of like, well, I'm kind of fudging the line here. Let's see what happens. I'm not joining her religion, but I'm you know, kind of grazing the edge of that. I didn't manage to avoid the prophetics. Some of the stuff I have been learning in a different way, and some of the stuff, like I say, Occupy ISS. I was never told that I needed to rescue people. I had one person in my entire life make any kind of commentary that had anything to do with me ever trying to save people here. I was supposed to do some certain things, get the heck out of here, come back and check my work, you know, later on down the line, and that was all it was. That's why my starship was very special, and it was something where I fold space and make it appear, and not something where I build it, you know, hammer by hammer, bolt by bolt type of a thing. It was a whole different thing, a whole different angle, and now that is kind of like floating in limbo, because I'm not quite certain where the heck things are at with that. Of quite literally, because, you know, it's like, well, I'm supposed to be doing this saving the world ISS stuff. Hey, what am I going to do? Okay, so there's a whole flow and a pattern and changes of stuff, and both real prophetics happen, and there's also the ability to change it and make adjustments. And that's where, like I said, being a person who comes from science fiction, not religion, not corporation, not government. Government says don't ever challenge us. You know, the Eagles, don't, you know, I fought the law and the law won. Well, in this case, I'm kind of the law, and I'm the one that's winning because I'm producing the evidence of what I'm saying and setting it down and saying, hey, this is reality. But I also turn around and tell you and say, hey, you want to see whether or not I got Revelation 2:17? Okay, fine. It is a spiritual mark. The only way you can see it is going to the spiritual realm. The only being you can challenge about that. You cannot challenge me. It was given to me. And it was given to me in a way that I can't give it back. I can hand it back, but you know, I can't throw it away. It's not going to happen. It's attached to my soul. So you have to go challenge the real Christ entity, not run around and go find a plastic Jesus and go, see, here's plastic Jesus, and Jesus says no, you don't have it. No, that doesn't work. You go onto the spiritual realm and you stand in front of the spiritual entity, Christ, and you talk to that entity, and then you can argue that I'm not allowed to have it. Okay? But I don't have a problem with you challenging me. I don't have a problem with you challenging my data. Governments do. Preachers do. Why? Because they're afraid of what goes on. One other thing, in 1970 I understood that the government sold itself out to the corporations, and you know, I mean, it was kind of obvious that around the Civil War there was some money management stuff going on with who was going to control what and why, and then you had the robber baron situations, and you had Rockefeller come into power, Standard Oil and all that kind of stuff. So by 1900 you were very much locked into a certain pattern. How the elections would be run and rigged, and who would win and stuff like that. And because of that, since the 1970-ish time period, I have been saying change the whole game. And everybody keeps screaming back, no, 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 we got to play their game. And I look at them and go, well, what's your game? Well, we elect a new president every 4 years. And it's like, don't you understand, if you fire everybody and you start over, you get rid of 10,000 criminals in one swoop, and they're over with. It's done. I mean, you've only got almost 1,000 senators and House of Congress representatives there. I mean, that's your biggest pile of criminals right there. You throw them out the door. You throw all of the lobbyists and stuff out the door, and you get back to just some basic hardcore. This is what's happening. This is what we need to worry about. What you're doing, whether you're trying to fix this problem, or you're trying to fix schools and get people intelligent and stuff like, it's instantly done. Because you got rid of all 10,000 criminals at once. You didn't take out one criminal and put another one that they selected in place. And even if you did bring in some, you know, knight in shining armor good guy, he's walking in, he's one person, or she's one person in 10,000. And based on your society's history, yeah, the person's going to go corrupt, not clean.